So I'm super bummed. My camera didn't record any of the first bit of this, so I won't make a video for this one, which is fine. I mean, it's not like it's particularly uncommon. I'm sure we'll see a few of these today. But I'll just give you guys little updates here and there as I paint along, and then I'll show you the finished product. So no, this is not going to be a proper tutorial, as I already said, but I can give you some tips for those of you that are newer to this. The body paints that I use mostly, I do use some makeups and stuff as well, like eyeshadows and eyeliners and stuff if needed. But mostly I use water-based body paints. I'm not going to tote any brand names because, I mean, some are more expensive than others, but I'll just say that everything I use is vegan because I'm vegan for almost 6 years now, so I always stick to the vegan products. These are great because once they dry you can touch them and they are easy to wash off and most of the time don't stain your face. I had no problem with this. I didn't put anything underneath it, no primer or anything. I just put it on a nice clean face so that way it would stay. When I put on my colors, I always start with my lightest color first. So before I realized my camera was not recording, I had put on the white face first, leaving the cutouts pretty much for the red because I don't like to layer my colors over my white. I feel like it makes it harder to get a nice, clean, bold color. So it just depends on what you're going for. So after I put down my white paint, I filled in my red. I did do a tiny bit of an outline for like the eye holes and the red parts and stuff, just so that I had a little bit of a map, but mostly, you know, I just kind of winged it. I'm going in with black body paint on the eyes, and once again, I did not bring the paint in too close to the eye because I wanted to be able to get it as black as I felt I needed to. And sometimes, not so bad with the water-based paints, but with grease paints and stuff, it's hard to layer them. They wanna blend. These are nice for that. They layer a little bit easier because they do dry completely and you can touch them. So as long as you don't get too wet on them, they, they'll dry and you can layer them fairly well. So then I went in and placed my my holes. You can see I've already put in the straps on the mask up there. I had forgotten about those, so that I had to layer over the white, which, you know, I don't like to do, but I made it work. You can do that. You don't have to leave your cutouts. You can go over the white if you need to. So I took black eyeshadow and kind of mapped out where I wanted my holes first with a nice round eyeshadow brush. This brush is cool because it's got a round tip on it. Don't know what the brand is. I've got a zillion brushes and I don't overspend on my things. I mean, once in a while it's nice to pick up a fancy brush or a fancy eyeshadow palette, but mostly I try and keep it within a good budget. Oh, also another tip that I forgot to tell you, when I did put the white down, I use a ultra white setting powder. I actually used it over the black and the red as well, and then if I feel like it doesn't, if I feel like it fades the color, I'll go back in with the color again. But that setting powder really makes it easier to layer. So it makes it easier for me to do this, what I'm doing to it right now, because not only do the body paints dry, but the powder also makes them even more dry and easier to touch. So I can go in there and paint over the top of them a little bit easier. Sorry about my voice right now. I'm getting over a cold. Moving across the country, new germs kicked my ass, and oops, sorry. I hope ass doesn't get bleeped out on here. Oh well. Anyway, the new germs have kind of taken me down. I usually don't get very sick, but this cold's been fun. So, other than the black holes, so after I went in and, like right now, I'm going in and darkening with a little bit of the body paint. I'm sorry, it's so bright. I have my lights right on my face. But I'm going in with a flatter eyeshadow brush, like an edge one that you would use to do like shadow right along your eyelashes. So it's kind of flat. It's still a little bit bushy, but mostly flat. The shape of the brush is flat. And I'm taking that body paint, kind of like dry brushing, so it's slightly wet with the body paint, but it's not super drippy. And I darkened one edge of the holes, and then I added a little bit of brown shadow also into the holes to make it look like there is skin under the mask. And now I'm taking a liquid eyeliner. It's probably not great to use a liquid eyeliner you like over these paints because you might get the paint on it and ruin the eyeliner tip. So just a heads up. I'm going in and I'm just kind of darkening one edge of the holes to try and give it a little bit of depth. You don't want to make it too perfectly consistent, and I do go in and blend these holes later. But you can see there on the ones on my cheek that it only goes around part of the hole, and then the center of the hole's got kind of a dark brown color that I did with mixing a brown eyeshadow with the black eyeshadow lightly. So now I'm taking that same brown eyeshadow brush that I used before, and I'm going in and putting a nice brown line right around the edge of the mask to make it look like it's sitting on my face. So I kind of blend out the brown because I want the brown to be more of a shadow. So I think I switch over here to a fluffy brush and kind of blend it a little bit. So though I want my face to look darker and look like it's underneath the mask, I don't want this to be a hard line. After that, I went ahead and just put a little bit of a dark line on one side, the darker side of my holes to give them a little bit more depth. And then you can fill in your eyelashes, eyeliner, whatever you want to add. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Oh, I think I forgot to do on video, but I do fill in the little buckles with silver and make them like a little, I don't know, whatever would hold the strap to the mask. And that's pretty much it, guys. What do you guys think? Should I add some blood spatter? I have to pick up my kids later. I need a little more blending, I think. Probably some blood.